Welcome to Daily Review, your daily dose of literary exploration. We dive into books that spark curiosity and ignite growth. While our passion often leads us to nonfiction reads that empower and improve your life, no book is off limits. From gripping thrillers to insightful memoirs and compelling fiction to historical accounts, we're here to share and discuss all the interesting reads we discover. Tune in for your next great book idea. Thank you so much for tuning in to Daily Review. We truly appreciate you joining us for your daily dose of literary exploration. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue to share these amazing books with you. If you're enjoying what you hear, please consider taking a moment to subscribe, rate, like, and comment on any of the platforms you're listening from. This really helps support our channel and allows us to get better and bring you even more great content. If today's review sparked your interest and you're ready to dive into a copy of the book, please consider using the link in our description to make your purchase. Not only does it make it easy for you to get your hands on the book, but it also directly supports our channel and the author, allowing us to keep bringing you more great content. Thanks again for being part of the Daily Review community. Now, onto today's deep dive. We're taking your most interesting sources, pulling out those core nuggets of knowledge to help you get well-informed quickly and thoroughly. And today we're embarking on, well, a pretty fascinating journey. We're looking into the practical science behind cultivating contentment, calm, and confidence. And we're drawing some really rich insights from Rick Hanson's work, specifically Hardwiring Happiness. You know that feeling, right? When you just wish you could genuinely shift your mindset somehow, feel a bit more at ease maybe, or build a stronger, more resilient sense of self, kind of almost effortlessly. Well, that's exactly what we're going to try and unpack today. It's all about transforming your daily experiences, yeah. Even the small, fleeting ones, into lasting well-being.
Yeah, and it's such a common misconception, isn't it, that our happiness is just dictated by what's happening around us, external circumstances.
Right.
And sure, those play a role, obviously, but what happens within our own brains is, well, is profoundly important. This deep dive really focuses on that undeniable truth. Our experiences are constantly reshaping our brain, and crucially, how we can intentionally guide that process for the better. The science of neuroplasticity. It's not just some abstract concept. It's a powerful invitation, really, to take charge of your inner world. This whole exploration is about getting good at intentionally changing your brain, building up those fundamental strengths, things like peacefulness, a deep sense of contentment, real love, resilience, genuine confidence, that focused determination.
So our mission today is to give you a shortcut, kind of to understanding the key ways, the mechanisms for cultivating these inner strengths. Think of it like a practical guide, transforming your everyday interactions, your thoughts, your reflections, into a lasting foundation of well-being. Get ready for some genuine aha moments about your own mind.
Okay, let's unpack this first. This fundamental truth about your brain, which is, the master organ of your body. It orchestrates everything, right? Thoughts, feelings, actions, the whole lot. And the science of neuroplasticity tells us something truly profound. Every single experience you have, whether you realize it or not, is continuously changing your brain. It's actually amazing when you think about it, that something as seemingly intangible as a thought or an emotion literally rewires your physical brain.
It is amazing. And what's truly fascinating here is that our brains aren't like neutral canvases. They arrive with a built-in bias, almost like a default setting, And we absolutely need to understand that if we want to work with them effectively. This is what the source material so vividly describes as the negativity bias, right? The Velcro for the bad, Teflon for the good thing.
Exactly that analogy. It's powerful. Imagine your mind is a garden, right? The very soil of your brain. It's naturally more fertile for weeds.
Weeds being?
Those persistent worries, frustrations, anxieties, all that stuff. It's more fertile for weeds than it is for flowers. The moments of joy, gratitude, peace. So this natural lean means that, well, to cultivate a really flourishing inner garden, we need to be remarkably intentional. We have to actively plant the seeds of inner strengths. And one critical aspect of this, evolutionarily speaking, is what the source calls paper tiger paranoia.
Paper tiger paranoia, okay?
Yeah. Think about our ancestors. They faced genuinely life-threatening dangers.
Yeah.
Every day.
Right. Real tigers, not paper ones.
Exactly. And in that environment, they could make two kinds of mistakes.
Right.
The first mistake, mistaking a rustle in the bushes for a tiger when it was just the wind.
Okay. Cost of that.
Needless anxiety. A fleeting moment of fear. Annoying, maybe, but not fatal.
And the second mistake?
Assuming there was no tiger when there actually was one. The cost of that? Well, death.
Okay, high stakes.
Very high stakes.
Yeah.
So evolution, with its relentless drive for survival, strongly favored making the first mistake.
The needless anxiety one?
hmm So we, their descendants, we're basically wired to make that first mistake, that needless anxiety 1,000 times over, just to avoid making the second mistake, death, even once.
Mm.
It was biologically advantageous, you see, for
Mm.
immediate survival in a dangerous world.
So our brains are literally hardwired to prioritize threats, even when those threats are like imagined or totally exaggerated. That explains so much about why worries can feel so incredibly sticky, persistent, almost impossible to shake off sometimes. It's like our ancient survival instinct is just constantly on high alert, scanning the horizon for tigers, even if we're just, sitting at our desks worrying about an email. Is there any way this bias actually serves us in modern life? Or is it truly just this kind of relic we need to learn to manage or overcome?
That's a great question. And it's something the source really gets into. While it was absolutely crucial for survival back in the Stone Age in our modern world, yeah, this ingrained bias means our brain is highly efficient at learning from negative experiences, but surprisingly inefficient at learning from the good ones.
Huh.
You can certainly be happy, of course, but often you might be happy in spite of this bias, rather than because of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you feel good, this ancient system is kind of waiting in the background, almost looking for a reason to make you feel bad again. But when you feel bad, it often amps that feeling up, makes you feel even worse, because it's constantly scanning for danger. And this bias, it profoundly affects how we form memories. The material explains that while explicit memories,
Explicit being.
your personal recollections, right, everything from childhood stuff to what you had for breakfast, those tend to become more positively biased the further back you go. Like the author mentions, remembering this great feeling of standing on a mountaintop after a long climb. Not the painful feet he must have had in those tight climbing shoes.
Right, we tend to remember the highlight reel.
Exactly. That selective positive bias in explicit memory. It's a common human trait, a way our brains kind of soften the past. But implicit memories, they're quite different.
Okay, that distinction is important. What exactly is implicit memory then, and how does its interaction with the negativity bias really impact our daily lives?
Think of implicit memory as the how-to knowledge. Procedural stuff, like how to ride a bike without consciously thinking about every single pedal stroke.
Got it. Muscle memory, sort of.
Yeah, but it also includes emotional learnings, those
Yeah.
automatic gut-level responses, like feeling tense when you walk into a crowded room maybe, or your immediate reaction to a certain type of person based on past interactions. And the critical point here is that the negativity bias means our brain readily and deeply stores negative experiences in this implicit memory. And that leads to two major interconnected problems that significantly impact our daily lives, our well-being. So the first core problem created by this negativity bias is that it increases the negative. It acts like a powerful magnet, constantly pulling our attention toward what is or what could be bad. It makes us overreact to negative events, even small ones, right? And then it stores these experiences deeply in that implicit memory. This creates these vicious, self-perpetuating cycles of negativity, not just inside our own heads, but also in how we interact with others. It fuels our stress, those persistent worries, everyday frustrations, deep-seated irritations, hurts, sorrows, feelings of falling short, even escalating conflicts. It's truly like a magnifying glass for everything that could go wrong or already has, constantly reinforcing those negative neural pathways.
Wow. Okay, so it amps up the bad stuff. What's the second problem?
Conversely, the second major problem is that it decreases the positive.
Yeah.
This bias often makes our attention just slide right past the good things, the things that are constantly happening around us.
Like the Teflon part of the analogy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even when we do notice positive facts, a beautiful sunset, a kind word from someone, a moment of peace, we tend to underreact to them. We might acknowledge them intellectually, oh, that's nice, but we don't fully feel them. We don't let them sink in. And those good experiences we do have, unfortunately, they tend to slip right through our brain. They leave little or no lasting trace behind. They just don't stick to our mental ribs, as the source puts it.
So it's like a perpetual bottleneck for happiness then. We might experience wonderful things, but our brain doesn't easily convert them into lasting psychological well-being.
Right.
Or a sense of inner strength. It's almost as if our efforts to be happy are constantly battling this uphill current.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. The source uses a really compelling analogy for this. Imagine an interest rate in a savings account. A low conversion rate. Converting positive mental states into positive neural traits, well, It dramatically flattens our gains in happiness and overall well-being. We have these moments of joy or gratitude or peace.
Mm.
But if they don't get hardwired into our neural circuits, their impact is just fleeting. They don't build up that capital of inner strength. So, in essence, our Stone Age brain's default setting, it's fundamentally tilted toward immediate survival. And while that was crucial for our ancestors' existence, right, in today's complex world, it often works against our quality of life, against our capacity for peaceful, fulfilling relationships, against our long-term mental and physical health. This is the default setting of that ancient brain we all carry around. And if we don't take charge of it, if we don't deliberately intervene and guide its processes, it will continue to take charge of us, leaving us susceptible to constant worry, reactivity, and just this pervasive sense of negative emotional states. The good news, of course, and this is the hopeful part, is that we can intervene.
Okay, so if our brain's default setting really is a bit of a downer, perpetually looking for those paper tigers, what's the actual good news here? Is there a tangible way to sort of reprogram this ancient wiring, or are we just resigned to its biases?
The good news. And this is the very best news, really, and what this deep dive is all about. It's the concept of self-directed neuroplasticity.
Self-directed neuroplasticity, okay.
Yeah, the scientific understanding shows us that each person truly has the power to change their brain for the better, consciously, intentionally. It's not about ignoring challenges or denying reality, right? It's about intentionally shaping your inner world to build lasting resilience, profound well-being. And this isn't just wishful thinking. It's grounded in solid neuroscience.
That's incredibly empowering, seriously. So we're truly not just stuck with our current wiring. We can actually actively reshape it ourselves. That really does feel like a huge shift from a purely deterministic view of the brain. It offers a sense of agency that I think many people might not realize they possess.
Precisely. And this agency, it's crucial. Because if you don't intentionally use this power, other forces will inevitably do the shaping for you.
Like what?
Well, think about it. Work pressures, right? The constant stream of media, demanding or pushy people. Even the lingering effects of past painful experiences. They all leave their imprint on your brain structure. But you can use this inherent power in quick, easy, and even enjoyable ways right in the flow of your day to build a lasting sense of ease, genuine confidence, deep self-acceptance, kindness, feeling loved, enduring contentment, inner peace. It's about converting those passing mental states into enduring neural structures, building up their neural circuits so you can actually carry these strengths with you wherever you go, regardless of what's happening outside. And the fundamental core practice, the heart of this transformation, is what the source calls taking in the good.
Taking in the good.
Mm-hmm. This is the deliberate internalization of positive experiences into your implicit memory, effectively converting those passing mental states, those fleeting moments of joy or calm, into enduring neural structures. It's about actively registering and savoring positive moments so they, stick to your mental ribs, as the source says, so they become a permanent part of your inner landscape.
And this doesn't require a PhD in neuroscience, right? It sounds like something anyone can genuinely integrate into their daily life without needing some complex scientific understanding. That seems key for practical application.
Not at all. It's distilled into 4 remarkably simple steps using the memorable acronym HEAL.
HEAL, okay.
Yeah. The first letter of each step guides us. Have a positive experience, enrich it, absorb it, and link positive and negative material. The first 3 steps, H, E, A, focus entirely on cultivating and integrating positive experiences. The 4th step, linking, is optional but incredibly powerful. It strategically uses positive thoughts and feelings to soothe, reduce, and potentially even replace negative ones.
This sounds like a truly practical and strategic way to level the playing field against that powerful negativity bias we just talked about. It's not about ignoring reality or being naively optimistic, is it? It's about being truly strategic with our attention and what we allow to shape our inner world.
It absolutely is. Taking in the good directly addresses the negativity bias. It actively decreases the neural circuits linked to negative feelings, thoughts, actions, while simultaneously, proactively increasing the pathways for positive ones. By regularly engaging in this practice, you gradually sensitize your brain to positive experiences, making them not only easier to access, but also faster to become deeply ingrained inner strengths. Over time, this helps you experience a profound sense of wellness that is, unconditional, meaning it's not solely dependent on external conditions. It genuinely helps you recover more quickly from negative experiences and effectively tilts your brain's default setting toward the positive, bringing you closer to that green brain state we'll talk more about.
Okay, Let's dive deep into those heal steps then. Starting with the foundational first one. H. Have a positive experience. This is where it all begins, right? The initial spark.
Exactly. This first step is all about activating a positive mental state. And when the source talks about positive and good, it's being incredibly pragmatic, not moralistic or religious or anything like that.
Pragmatic how?
It simply means what genuinely leads to happiness and benefit for yourself and for others. This includes experiences that feel good now and have good results later, even if they initially feel challenging, like the momentary pain of touching a hot stove. That leads to the beneficial caution of avoiding burns in the future, right? That's good. Conversely, things that feel good now but lead to bad results later, like the temporary buzz from 3 beers followed by a hangover and health costs.
Yeah.
Those are considered negative because their long-term costs outweigh the momentary pleasure.
Got it. So how do we have these experiences? Are we just talking about waiting for good things to happen to us, or is there an active component here?
You can absolutely do both. And the source offers a wealth of ways to approach this. It identifies loads of different avenues to activate a positive experience. Whether it's noticing something already present in your environment or actively creating it. Let's first explore noticing positive experiences already present. These can be in the foreground of your awareness, meaning they're right there under the immediate spotlight of your attention.
Like what, for example?
It could be a simple, pleasant sensation, like relaxed breathing maybe, or a comfortable warmth spreading through your body, a general bodily sense of vitality. It might be an intellectual sense of interest, or a generalized feeling of well-being or focused determination, or something really simple and immediate, the good smell of coffee brewing, warm feelings for a dear friend, or that profound relief you feel as a busy day winds down. The source shares a lovely example. A person described waking up to the magical sound of light rain on skylights, feeling warmly snuggled and safe in bed, and actively just soaking in that profound feeling.
Yeah, those little moments.
Exactly. Another listener found immense peace and solitude at the dog park early in the morning. Feeling grateful for the quiet moments, allowing themselves to fully give over to that feeling. Alternatively, the positive experience could be something more subtle, something in the background, those quiet, murmuring, positive feelings, like a subtle sense of calm, a quiet confidence, a basic sense of well-being. They're often always there if you just quiet yourself and listen deeply. Just take a moment, maybe close your eyes, and listen to what's gently murmuring in the back of your mind. Identify a feeling you like and gently focus on it. Now let's look at creating positive experiences, actively finding, imagining, or producing good facts. One powerful way is finding good facts in your current setting.
So looking around right now.
Yeah, take a moment. Look around wherever you are right now for anything appealing or beautiful. Even small, mundane things you might normally overlook. Could be appreciating your keyboard as a clever invention that lets you connect. Or the surprising comfort of your cozy chair. The source recounts a poignant story of a woman in Detroit, amidst urban ruins, who learned to find immense beauty in what she called the urban prairie, being stopped by a tree full of raucous birds, or noticing the late afternoon sunlight illuminating abandoned buildings, finding them almost too beautiful for words. This practice genuinely helps you see the world, your immediate environment, in a new, more appreciative way.
That's powerful. What else?
You can also effectively find good facts in recent events. Take a moment to reflect on accomplishments, even minor ones like getting things done on your to-do list each day. Or appreciate simple, often overlooked facts like having running water, electricity, or even just a roof over your head. You can allow yourself to truly appreciate the results of the hard work and ingenuity of countless people who shaped our modern world. The engineers who designed your internet, the farmers who grew your food.
Yeah, things we take for granted.
Totally.
Yeah.
Then there are good facts and ongoing conditions. These are the relatively stable, reliable good things in your life. Think of places you love that are still there, doing fine. He also gives that vivid example of imagining Tuolumne Meadows in Yosemite Park to calm himself at the dentist, or the good people in your life who consistently wish you well offer support. Even the simple, often unconscious fact that the walls of your home keep existing, providing shelter, or that your sink will be there tomorrow to provide water. These are foundational positives.
Okay. What about internal stuff?
Good point. Consider good facts in your personal qualities.
Yeah.
Take time to have a clear sense of your own good qualities. Being a helpful friend, maybe. A skilled cook. A decent person. Someone with integrity. Let that recognition of your own positive attributes become a genuine sense of gladness, confidence, worth. The more you consciously take in that you are a fundamentally good person, the more it reinforces this essential inner strength, builds a more robust sense of self-worth.
And the past. Can we draw on that?
Oh, absolutely. The good facts from the past offer a profound treasure chest, as the source calls it. You could recall times of strength like pulling through a difficult rock climbing overhang, or past successes when facing current setbacks at work. If someone's being critical of you, maybe remind a good time with a friend and genuinely feel cared about, valued. You can even draw on vague, distant recollections. Use old photos, family stories from when you were little. Imagine good feelings you must have had, like being loved as a baby, even if those memories aren't explicit. The author shared his personal story of overcoming shyness in college after saying yes to a roommate. He repeatedly replayed the positive feelings of inclusion, acceptance from that decision, which genuinely helped him be more open later in life.
What about the future? Can we use that too?
Yes, we can tap into good facts from the future. Humans have this unique ability for mental time travel, right? Draws on specific, complex brain networks. You can harness this by imagining something good that will happen later today. A pleasant conversation, a quiet evening, and let that imagination become a pleasant feeling now, in the present moment. Or imagine the benefits of a future change, like getting a different job or consistently meditating. Let yourself feel the positive emotions associated with that future reality right now.
Okay, interesting. What about sharing with others? Does that help?
Sharing good with others is surprisingly powerful. Studies clearly show that talking about good things with others or simply acknowledging shared positive moments intensifies the experience. Thanks to our highly developed empathy networks, as the poet John Milton put it, good, the more communicated, more abundant grows.
Nice.
You can reminisce with someone, share a happy glance during a sunset, plan for a nice future event together. The very act of sharing enhances the positive emotions for everyone involved.
What about finding good in bad situations? Reframing.
Yes, another transformative method, finding good in the bad. This isn't about denying pain, pretending difficult situations aren't painful. It's about actively finding positive meaning, even in challenging events. Ask yourself, what lessons were learned? What new strengths were gained? How did I grow through this? The source offers that poignant anecdote of the woman whose Marine father passed away on Memorial Day. Fighter jets flew overhead at the moment he died. Amidst her profound sorrow, she was awed by this unexpected sense of love, peace, calm that filled the room. She actively bathed herself in that unique sense memory, which not only carried her through her grief, but continues to sustain her when she feels lost or stressed today. Then there's the profound practice of caring about others. Warm-hearted thoughts, words, deeds, smiling genuinely at a stranger, gently tucking in a child, simply recalling someone you like and wishing them well. These activate powerful brain reward centers. This inherently includes altruistic joy, that deep happiness we feel in others' good fortune. One man described savoring the precious sense of holding his baby grandson, consciously allowing that feeling of profound, unconditional love to dwell within him, making it a lasting internal resource.
Can we just imagine good things?
Yes. You can powerfully use your imagination for imagining good facts. Your inner movie theater, right? Use it intentionally for good, rather than constantly replaying hurts or anxieties. This can involve imagining things that could be true for you, like vividly picturing yourself having a black belt if you want to feel stronger, or sitting peacefully in a beautiful natural setting. And the fascinating insight is you can even imagine things that couldn't literally be true in your past, like experiencing loving parenting when it was absent.
Really?
Yeah, the amazing thing, as neuroscience suggests, is that vividly imagined experiences build neural structures through mechanisms remarkably similar to real ones. It offers a powerful pathway to heal old wounds, cultivate new strengths.
What about actively doing good things?
Next up, producing good facts. Most days hold countless opportunities for actively creating new positive facts in your life. Simple things. Complimenting someone sincerely, putting a fresh flower in a vase, turning on your favorite music, or even practicing restraint by deliberately disengaging from something bad, turning off a nerve-jangling TV program, avoiding a negative social media feed. If you choose to disengage, take a moment to consciously register that good act. Genuinely enjoy the sense of agency, the peace it brings.
Okay, and eventually, can we just call it good feelings?
With consistent practice, you can get to the point of directly evoking a positive experience. As you repeatedly build up the neural traces of positive experiences through Heal, it becomes easier to activate those positive states of mind at will, even without obvious external triggers. It's like reaching for the right tool through clutter. You can simply call up a sense of strength or calm or love from within. knowing those neural pathways are now well-worn, readily accessible.
And the last way to have.
Finally, the overarching understanding, seeing life as opportunity. This perspective recognizes that most days, even tough ones, offer numerous ways to generate good experiences. Even in significant hardship, it's usually within your power to ignite a good thought, savor a sense perception, cultivate a positive emotion, engage a benevolent desire, take a beneficial action. Recognizing this inherent power and agency feels good in itself, gives you a deep sense of control, optimism over your inner life.
That's an incredible menu, seriously. So many ways to find or create positive experiences, from subtle daily observations to profound acts of imagination. It sounds like the first step is really about cultivating that deep awareness. What's already good, or what you can create. But once we catch that good feeling, how do we make sure it doesn't just evaporate? Given our brain's tendency for the good to be Teflon, what's the next step after you have one?
Crucial question. And it brings us right to the next step.
Yeah.
Enrich it.
Enrich.
Yes, this step is entirely about making the positive experience last long enough for your brain to actually absorb it. Hardwire it. Think of it like a mechanical process in your brain. The more seconds you spend truly present with that positive experience, the more neural structure you grow around it. So more is better here.
How long are we talking?
The goal is to consciously cultivate it for at least 10, 20, maybe even more seconds, really letting it permeate. To help with this, you need to be very intentional about staying aware. Deliberately apply and sustain your attention on the experience. Like ice skating, right? Planting your foot is applying attention, then gliding is staying in continuous, gentle contact with the experience. If your attention naturally wanders, which it will,
Yeah, happens all the time.
totally normal. Just gently bring it back to the positive feeling. Maybe with a soft inner voice saying something like, stay with this, just a little longer. You want to give it time to truly sink in. To further aid this, you can take long, slow exhalations. That activates the calming parasympathetic nervous system, helps you settle into the experience. Or softly name the experience to yourself, like calming, safe, peaceful. If you find yourself easily distractible, especially when starting out, maybe focus on more stimulating positive experiences. Intense physical pleasures, moments of vivid joy that can help your attention stick.
So it's about really soaking it in, not just a fleeting thought that passes quickly. Making sure it lands, has sufficient time to physically sink into our neural networks.
Exactly. You want to give it the time and conscious attention it needs to become embedded. And the more actively and bodily you engage with the experience, the greater its impact, the deeper its imprinting, which leads perfectly into the next crucial aspect of enriching: multimodality.
Multimodality. Okay, sounds complex.
Not really. It just means activate all the senses and feelings associated with that positive experience. Engage sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and especially internal bodily sensations.
Why is that so powerful?
Because the more sensory and emotional pathways you light up in your brain simultaneously, the more robust and interconnected the neural network for that positive experience becomes.
Ah, okay.
It's like building a superhighway for happiness instead of a small dirt path, The richer and more multisensory the experience, the more neural real estate it occupies, making it easier to recall, more deeply integrated into your being.
That makes so much sense. So if I'm thinking about a friend's good qualities, feeling grateful, I should also try to imagine their voice, how it feels to be around them, maybe even the smell of their favorite perfume or the details of a place we shared.
Yes, precisely. The more actively and bodily you engage, the greater the impact, the stronger the hardwiring. The source shares a wonderful anecdote. A middle school counselor used paper chains for a gratitude exercise. Students wrote 3 things they were grateful for, simple stuff: melted cheese, seedless watermelon.
Ah, love it.
Right, but the key was, each time a link was added, they paused for several seconds to truly reflect on the goodness, letting the experience sink in. The counselor noted the profound peace, the gentle smiles that filled the room, highlighting how engaging multiple senses and taking dedicated time can transform a simple exercise into a powerful brain-changing practice.
H for have, E for enrich. And you mentioned A is next. What's A for?
A is for absorb it. Yeah. This is the crucial step where you intentionally internalize the positive experience into your implicit memory, truly sensing it sinking into you, becoming a fundamental part of who you are. People describe this in various ways that resonate for them. It might feel like warmth spreading through the body, like a soothing balm washing over you, or simply a deep, intuitive knowing that you are receiving and retaining the experience, that it's settling into your brain, becoming a deep resource you can carry with you always. Find what works for you. Trust that the good experience will make its way into your brain. As you are sinking into it, it is simultaneously sinking into you, forming those lasting neural connections. The source provides a powerful, really moving example of this. A woman, her cat Sammy. She had to make the difficult decision to euthanize the cat. The trauma of that final moment was just seared into her brain.
Oh, that's tough.
Really tough. After some time, when she felt more centered, she started repeatedly taking in memories of the precious good times she had with Sammy. She'd savor each memory for over 30 seconds, consciously sensing those positive feelings, the warmth of the cat on her lap, the joy of watching it chase a toy sinking in deep, like a healing salve. She described it as those positive feelings actively healing those last terrible moments of trauma. Through this process, she genuinely felt her cat becoming a deep, comforting part of her. A profound sense of peace and comfort came to her from those
Oh,
memories.
that's incredible.
It really is. And this step also fundamentally involves a willingness to be changed by the experience, to grow, to become a little different as a result. As you take in gratitude, truly feel yourself becoming more thankful, appreciative. As you absorb strength, allow yourself to genuinely become a little stronger, more resilient. Your mind and brain are literally molding themselves around the positive experience you're absorbing, shaping your neural networks in a tangible way.
And finally, the powerful optional fourth step, L-link positive and negative material. This truly sounds like it takes the entire practice to an even deeper, more transformative level, directly addressing those Velcro for bad pathways we talked about.
It absolutely does. This step strategically uses positive thoughts and feelings to soothe, reduce, and potentially even replace negative ones. Imagine the vibrant flowers of positive experiences, the calm, the joy, the peace crowding out, and gradually replacing the stubborn weeds of negative thoughts, difficult feelings, unhelpful desires.
How does that actually work in the brain?
Well, to truly grasp why it works, it's helpful to understand how negative material is processed. When negative stuff, a traumatic memory, a hurtful comment is activated, it's not retrieved as some static, fixed unit. Instead, it's reconstructed dynamically in your awareness each time you recall it, and crucially, when it's no longer active, it undergoes a process called reconsolidation. Yeah. This reconstruction and reconsolidation phase, which can last for minutes to several hours, it's a powerful window of opportunity
Yeah.
to actually change the neural patterns underlying that negative material. Little molecular machines in your brain are actively rewiring those connections during that window. The source describes two main methods for this. Method one, overwrite the negative. In this approach, you hold both the positive and negative material in your awareness simultaneously. But, and this is key, you consciously keep the positive material much more prominent, more intense. Sense the positive connecting with, gradually soothing, even physically replacing the negative. It's like the positive material is sifting down like a warm, gentle, persistent rain, or a golden balm that touches and actively soothes raw, hurt places within you.
So if I'm experiencing, say, a nagging worry about a minor argument with a friend, I could hold that anxiety in the background of my awareness while simultaneously focusing intensely on a feeling of being genuinely cared about by someone, maybe even that same friend from a different positive interaction.
Exactly. You're consciously linking the two, allowing the positive to infuse and reframe the negative experience, making it less overwhelming, less impactful. The key is to keep making the positive feelings stronger, more vivid, more encompassing than the negative ones, all while being aware of both at once. You're essentially teaching your brain a new way to respond to that internal trigger.
Okay. And the second method?
Method two, erase the negative. This tackles those situations where a neutral trigger, for instance, the general concept of male authority, became negatively associated with a painful past experience, like a scary childhood coach who was loud, critical, intimidating.
Right. So the trigger itself isn't bad, but it got linked to something bad.
Precisely. New research shows that for at least an hour after the negative material has been activated and then allowed to leave your conscious awareness, repeatedly bringing to mind the neutral trigger while feeling only neutral or positive emotions can disrupt the reconsolidation of those negative associations. It literally reduces amygdala activation, your brain's alarm bell. This helps to break the problematic, automatic link between the neutral trigger and the old pain.
That sounds like incredibly targeted healing, almost like a precise surgical strike on old emotional scars. It's not just coping, it's actively altering the past hold on us.
It truly is. For example, if you initially linked a positive feeling of self-worth with the specific memory of that childhood coach, then later, after letting go of the painful memory itself, you could repeatedly access that sense of self-worth while simply thinking about male authority as a neutral concept. This helps to break the old, problematic link. So simply thinking of male authority no longer triggers that old fear and humiliation. You're cleaning up the emotional debris, so to speak. These are truly powerful tools for reducing and clearing negative material from your mind. You can infuse positive influences into negative material, framing it more realistically, more hopefully. Or disrupt and gradually erase the unhelpful associations between neutral triggers and negative material. The author shares one of his favorite personal examples: dog-sitting two corgis. Their playful, boundless, unconditional love was an intensely positive experience for him.
Corgis are pretty great.
Aren't they? He then intentionally used this vivid experience to overwrite a very painful childhood memory of his cruel grandmother. She'd terrified him by locking him outside, telling him cows would eat him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He repeatedly held in mind the corgi's love while gently recalling the painful memory. And it profoundly worked. Now, thinking of his grandmother immediately brings to mind the joyful corgis, effectively replacing the old hurt with a profound sense of love and comfort. And the process can also connect positive material with younger, more vulnerable layers of your psyche, offering the love and comfort they may have longed for in the past. It's like a nurturing, wise adult part of you holding and comforting a scared, small child inside, as one woman described doing for a deep childhood hurt that suddenly reappeared. Finally, allowing that small child to be heard, felt, held with compassion.
It sounds like it genuinely gives us a path to truly come home to ourselves, integrating and healing those fragmented parts of our past with a deep sense of compassion and understanding.
Indeed, this linking step requires three key things. First, holding two things in mind at once, the positive and the negative. Second, not being hijacked or overwhelmed by the negative material. And the source thoughtfully cautions against using this for deep trauma without the guidance of a trained therapist. That's important.
Right. Good caveat.
And third, perhaps most importantly, always keeping the positive material significantly more prominent and intense than the negative. While it may seem a bit complex initially, after you try this fourth step of heal a few times, it will become remarkably straightforward and profoundly powerful.
Earlier, you introduced the concepts of green and red brain modes and how they relate to that default setting of negativity bias. Can you tell us more about how these play out in our daily lives, why understanding them is so crucial for our well-being?
Absolutely. Our brains, as they evolved, developed through three fundamental systems, each expertly designed to meet a core need essential for survival and flourishing over millions of years. First, the avoiding harm system. This is primarily concerned with safety, survival, much like our ancient lizard brain instinctively detecting threats, guiding us towards safety. Second, the approaching reward system. This is about satisfaction, desires, resources, like a mouse instinctively seeking food, other vital resources for sustenance. And third, the attaching to others system. This focuses on connection, social bonds, belonging, akin to a monkey seeking social cohesion, intimacy within its group.
Lizard, mouse, monkey. Got it.
Yeah, just simple ways to think about them. And while these are ancient biological imperatives, swimming away from a predator, eating a carrot, making a baby, they play out in incredibly complex, nuanced modern ways. For instance, the attaching system clicks into gear, whether it's a high school student carefully putting on makeup for the prom to feel a sense of belonging, or bonobos picking lice off each other for social bonding. And crucially, each of these three fundamental systems has two main settings or modes: a responsive setting, which we call the green brain, and a reactive setting, the red brain.
Green and red. Okay, tell us about green first.
Let's delve into the responsive mode, or green brain. This is your brain's natural, optimal home base. When you experience that a core need is being adequately met, that particular system automatically defaults to its responsive green setting. So when you genuinely feel safe, your avoiding harm system goes green, bringing profound feelings of relaxation, calm, inner peace. Less need for bracing, persistent anxiety. When you feel satisfied, truly fulfilled, your approaching reward system shifts to green, bringing feelings like deep gratitude, genuine gladness, a sense of accomplishment, quiet contentment. You feel satiated, not constantly chasing or striving. And when you feel truly connected, your attaching to other system goes green, evoking feelings of deep belonging, intimacy, profound compassion, genuine kindness, intrinsic worth, unconditional love. There's a fundamental sense of security, trust in your relationships.
So it's about an underlying resilient sense of security and well-being. That acts like a powerful buffer, allowing us to navigate life's challenges without being completely overwhelmed, even when life is still happening around us. Sounds like a state of grounded resilience.
Exactly. In this responsive mode, you meet challenges without them becoming overwhelming stressors. Events occur, even difficult or hard ones, but there's a kind of built-in shock absorber in your brain. stops them from rattling you to your core. You could deal with threat, loss, rejection without being completely carried away by overwhelming feelings of fear, frustration, heartache. You're still actively engaged with life, sometimes handling very difficult things, but you do so from a foundation of an underlying sense of security, fulfillment, feeling cared about. It's perfectly possible to be active and energized in this mode, friendly, playful, curious, creative, with your emotions remaining generally positive, accessible. It's your resting state, free from a fundamental sense of deficit or disturbance. When disturbances end, as they always do, you readily return to this lovely green meadow of well-being that has always been there within you.
Okay, so that's green. What about red?
Now let's contrast that with the reactive mode, or red brain. This is where your brain shifts, often very quickly due to that ingrained negativity bias, when a core need is not met or is perceived to be threatened. In this allostatic state, your body's vital resources get significantly depleted. Long-term building projects like strengthening your immune system or repairing cells are temporarily put on hold. Adrenaline and cortisol, your primary stress hormones, course through your blood. And your mind is fundamentally colored by fear, intense frustration, profound heartache. This mode is the very neural foundation of craving and suffering, broadly defined.
And this sounds like what our modern lives often push us into, right? Getting stuck on red for extended chronic periods, which evolution didn't really design us for.
Precisely. Evolution designed these reactive bursts to be infrequent, brief, and quickly followed by a return to the responsive baseline. Neurochemical processes are actually designed to bring you home to green as quickly as possible. Even though reactive experiences feel bad, if they follow this evolutionary blueprint, infrequent, brief, usually moderate, they likely have few lasting negative consequences. But yeah, unfortunately, much of modern life fundamentally violates this ancient design. Constant stressors, information overload, social pressures, they often keep us in a prolonged state of reactivity, leading to significant wear and tear.
What are the actual costs of being stuck in red?
The costs of the reactive mode are truly substantial. They impact every aspect of your being. It feels bad emotionally, of course, but it also profoundly shifts our perspectives negatively, makes us see challenges as insurmountable. It significantly impairs learning, memory formation. It sucks up valuable resources that could be used for pleasure, ease, personal healing, growth. It makes us hunker down, muzzle our true self-expression, dream smaller, more constrained dreams. It can also promote problematic self-soothing behaviors, overeating, drug and alcohol abuse, excessive video gaming, compulsive online consumption as we try to escape the discomfort. Your body's stress reactions halt those vital long-term building and repair processes.
And physically, what does it do to the body?
Physically, the accumulating burden of these chronic reactive experiences is called allostatic load. This significantly increases inflammation throughout the body, weakens the immune system's ability to fight off illness, wears extensively on the cardiovascular system, increasing risks for heart disease. In the brain itself, allostatic load can cause neurons to atrophy. In crucial areas like the prefrontal cortex, the center of our top-down executive control, planning, decision-making. And in the hippocampus, the vital center of learning and memory. It also impairs myelination, the insulation of neural fibers, which can weaken connectivity between different brain regions, making it harder for parts of your brain to work together effectively. Like, it could become harder for you to stay in touch with the big picture or your values if someone else is provoking you.
That's quite a cascade of negative effects. And in relationships, how does this red brain mode play out? I imagine it can create a lot of friction.
You're absolutely right. Seeing red has powerful corrosive effects on relationships. It reduces our capacity for empathy, makes it harder to truly understand, connect with others' feelings. It increases our tendency to dehumanize, devalue others, even when there's no direct conflict, creates distance. Humans are particularly prone to retaliation, right? And reactivity feeds conflict, which then feeds more reactivity, creating these escalating, vicious cycles of grievance, grudge, payback, in personal and even global interactions. Many psychological disorders, from severe anxiety disorders to substance abuse, insecure attachment patterns, they're directly linked to chronic reactive extremes in these brain systems. The brain's red reactive setting is undeniably a primary source of our overreactions, our unhappiness, persistent relationship problems.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty sobering. But there's good news too, right? How does taking in the good help here?
Yes, the genuinely good news. And what the practice of taking in the good offers is that it helps you recover more quickly from negative experiences. It gradually sensitizes your brain to positive experiences, making them easier to access, sustain. This practice actively decreases negative feelings while simultaneously increasing positive ones. effectively tilting toward the positive, powerfully leveling the playing field against that ingrained negativity bias. It brings you home to a comfortable intimacy with your own experience, a confident openness to life's possibilities, a profound sense of mastery with your own mind. You can learn to hold reactive material in a responsive framework. Even if one system is blinking red, the other two can often remain green, providing that foundation of inner calm.
Okay, now for what many of you might consider the real treasure chest of this deep dive. The source talks about 21 joules foundational inner strength that we can actively grow inside ourselves. These sound like specific antidotes, maybe, to some of those persistent red brain states we've been discussing, tangible qualities we can actually cultivate.
They are indeed. These are key experiences that have the power to profoundly change lives. We can deliberately look for opportunities to experience them in everyday life and then use the intentional practices of the heal steps to weave them deeply into the very fabric of our brains. They fall naturally under the umbrella of the three operating systems we just discussed. So first, from the avoiding harm system, safety. These help you feel increasingly at ease, less anxious, cultivating a profound sense of inner security, like protection. This directly decreases alarm